right, hello wine drinking people. Today is Saturday, the 23rd of January. Man, hard to believe January already almost over, and we have had so many great events already this month. Chateau Latour tasting last night, back to 61, fantastic. And you know, one of my other favorite wines is Brunello di Montalcino, and we do a number of tastings with Brunello throughout the course of the year, an annual tasting to showcase the new releases. And since the release of the 2010 vintage, Brunello has been one of the hottest topics in the world of collectible Italian wines. I can tell you, after conducting 3 or 4 tastings now with these wines, this is one of the greatest vintages I have ever experienced on release. And you know, when I say on release, that's because Brunello was held back for 5 years before it's released, the longest of any wine made in Italy, and it still needs 5 or 10 years after that. And the only way to show that to you, our wine drinking people, to give you perspective on how this great wine ages, is to show 10 vintages of it. And that's exactly what we're going to do on Friday the 29th. We've got our good friend Francesco Ripaccioli is here from Canalicchio di Sopra, and he started with the winery in 2001, I think it is, the grandchild of one of the owners of this property. And I remember our first tasting we did with Francesco. He was only 20 years old, and it was at Mancini's on Las Olas. We had 10 vintages of wine in front of us. I introduced him, he got up, and he told everybody his age, and I said, Francesco, you're not old enough to drink yet in this country at 20. So this is a few years later. He's now old enough to drink legally, but in Italy, you're old enough to drink if you're with your parents. And hey, my son already knows how to identify Pinot Noir, Nebbiolo, Cabernet, and Sangiovese at age 11. Getting ready to take over the family business. We've got an incredible evening this tonight. Like I said, with great vintages, we're going to be showing 2010 all the way back to 1995, one of my favorite vintages in the last 20 years. This wine's got incredible structure. The Reserva wine they only make in great vintages, and they just make a few hundred cases of it. They only make a few thousand cases total at this small winery located in one of the top regions in Montalcino. They actually got a couple different vineyard sites, Lagodi di Montasolo and Canalicchio di Sopra, and like I said, a tiny amount of wine produced here. One of my favorite properties, and like I said, even in off vintages, these guys make outstanding wines. We're going to showcase 96, not considered a great vintage, but sometimes, and you don't know what the points are on the wines, a lot of people say that's my favorite wine of the night because great producers do not make bad wines. The vintage is just an indication as far as when to drink them. And we've got some great vintages here, 2001, 2004, 2006, all blockbusters, still should be very, very young. Hey, the last time Francesco came, we showed a 1981 vintage he brought with him from the winery. It was still drinking fantastically. All right, well, check it out. Everything we're going to be showing at our tasting with Francesco from Canalicchio di Sopra. Hey, and we've got veal ossobuco tonight also from Mama Toni. I'm your host, Andrew Lamposoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying, remember, always drink the good stuff first.